Hello, BookTube. I have mail for you, believe it or not. Probably do believe it at this point. It's been years that we've been going through this pattern, but some of you are new to this channel. Uh, it sometimes happens that there's a different driver for the mail routes, the various carriers and whatnot, on the weekend, on Saturday. I know the patterns and timings of my normal drivers and my normal on-foot mailman to the last minute during the week, but they often have substitutes on the weekend, and you never know what the timing is of those. And so sometimes of a Sunday morning, I can stroll out onto the front porch to feed my sparrows and find packages there, and I did. So we've got 2 boxes here that we can look at for Sunday mail. Let's see what they are. I'll do this first one here. Oh my, you are well packaged. Here, let's grab the scissors and carefully cut. Remember, you always have scissors handy because you're always going to need them, so you should have them nearby. But put them back where you found them when you grab them. Don't just drop them somewhere, or put them here or something like that. And also, when you're cutting, cut away from yourself. So let's see what we have here. This first one is something big and floppy. Oh, great. Okay. This is always interesting to show you. There are many, many ways that an advanced copy of a book can get to an editor or a reviewer, and I'm both. The normal way is what's called an ARC, an advanced reader's copy, where it's a paper-bound copy of the book. It doesn't have the hardcovers it's going to have in a couple of months, but it gets to you, and you can read it, and there might be corrections from that version, but it'll be more or less what the book is going to be. There's also the finished copy. Sometimes a publisher either doesn't print a lot of ARCs or doesn't print any. So just wait and send the finished copy. That's not as convenient. That's not as convenient if you're an editor, because you might be parceling out these books to freelancers, in which case you need some lead time if you're going to have your review out when the book is new. Another way, of course, is an ebook, just to send me a PDF of the book. I ask every publisher to do that now, whereas once upon a time, for 10 years, publishers would diffidently mention, oh, and I also have a PDF, and I would say, who cares about that? But now, I mean, my Kindle is surgically attached to my hand, so that's another way. But there's one other way, which is for a publisher to send you something really, really preliminary, something before the review copy. And that is Unbound Galley, and that's what this is. This is where somebody just takes the pages to Kinko's or a copy shop, runs them off, and has them just bound with plastic. And this is what the book is. In the Days of Billy the Kid, by James Mills. This is the lives and times of Jose Chavez, Juan Patron, Martin Chavez, and Eugenio Salazar. And I have the PDF for this. I started into it. It's a big, it's not really a very big book. I don't actually know how many pages it's going to have. It's from the University of North Texas Press, but it is what I mean by big is it's a comprehensive undertaking. I wonder if this has page numbers. Unbound Galleys often don't. They often don't have anything. No, this doesn't have anything at all. It's just the pages. I'm glad to have it, though. The PDFs sometimes don't behave. The EPUBs do, but PDFs sometimes get a little argumentative. So I'm glad to have this. That's great. And I will get either the advanced reading copy and then the finished copy, or I'll just get the finished copy. I don't know when this comes out either. It's really, really good, though. It's all about outlaw culture. Really, that's what it's about. I mean, it's about Billy the Kid as well. A tough act to follow for Billy the Kid, because one of my favorite... I have a favorite biography of Billy the Kid, a biography from 40 years ago that is just incredibly good. And that's going to be a tough act to follow for this, but this is not trying to do that. This is trying to do more than that. And the part that I read of the PDF where I got a little sick of it fighting with me was really good. So I don't have anything to tell you here. I don't have any pub sheet information or anything like that, except that my first impression of this was that it's genuinely impressive. Great, fantastic, very happy to have this. I will try to, if I remember, I will try to append the Amazon listing to this video so that you know what I'm talking about. But now I have the print book to read, and these things are, I mean, this won't last, but it's fun to read with it just flopped open on your lap. Provided my lap is free. My lap is not always free, is it, baby? Sometimes it's not. It is right now, but it isn't always free. It sometimes is your sole property, is it not? Oh, poor baby. And then we have another box here. So are we going to need the scissors again? I think we are. Let's see what we've got here. It's a little thing. Actually, it's kind of DIY tapings. This might actually be from one of you. Oh, it is. It is from one of you. This is from a humble supplicant who sent a box of books. This is a flagrant violation of rule number 1 on this channel, which is don't send me a book. But this person had permission. Let's see what is in here. I was told that this was coming, but I was not told what they were. Oh, we have a bunch of books. Okay, let's see what we have here. All right, so okay, we have an explanation. This is, well, okay, so this was unplanned, of course, by the sender and also by me, but this is going to be an Old West themed thing, it looks like. The first book that we have here is from 1935. This is from Grosset and Dunlap. This is The War of the Copper Kings by G.B. Glasscock. Western history. It was inscribed from Jesse Green in Bozeman, Montana, December 11th, 1950, to Henry and Dewey Lang in Bozeman, Montana. So what is this? Builders of Butte and the Wolves of Wall Street. And it's dedicated to the old dealers in sympathy with their errors and admiration of their accomplishments. All right, let's see how this starts. The Copper Kings. Let's see how it starts. Chapter 1, Civilization at Scratch. A group of ragged, bearded, weary men fleeing from hostile Indians made camp beside an alder-lined creek high in the Rocky Mountains in the spring of 1863. One washed $2.40 worth of gold from a pan full of sand. Unsuspected that in that sand was the promise of $100 million in gold, a promise soon to be realized. Latent in the surrounding ground were the makings of more than 100 murders, more than a score of hangings without process of law, more than $2 billion in material wealth, a corporation designed to rule the electric light and power of the world, battles of giants in the depths of the earth, and the capital of a nation, and the financial panic that staggered the country in 1907. What a way to open a book. All right, so this is the Gold Rush. This is Old West history. The note that comes with it says that it is June on the Range adjacent. Exciting nonfiction. That is a reference to an upcoming event on BookTube, June on the Range, created by Michael K. Vaughan, where we all read Westerns and Western adjacent stuff. I have certainly never read this, so that's great. And then we have 3 mass market paperbacks, which are explicitly for June on the Range. So let's see what these are. We have an Ace double. Oh, wow, I never see these. Ace did doubles of science fiction, where you get a science fiction novel with its own cover, and then when you get to the end of it, you flip the book over and you're starting another science fiction book, and the back cover is the cover of that book. And I knew they did them for Westerns, but I never see Ace double Westerns, and here I have one. This is what they look like. They have that split along the spine there like that. So the first one is William Colt MacDonald, Boomtown Buccaneers. When death stacks the deck, the fastest 45 gets the Joker. Rather disappointingly, this is an abridged version of this book. I wonder what it was. I wonder what it was originally called, and also how abridged this is. Let's see here. Our cast of characters. Peaceful Jenkins. This ex-lawman never got into other men's troubles. He had enough of his own. Applejack Peters. A taste for liquor never seemed to influence the steadiness of his gun hand. Louis Davis. His career as a bandit was short and swift. Okay, what are you originally called? This came out in 1941, with no mention of whether or not it was called Boomtown Buccaneers when it first came out. Okay, well, William Colt MacDonald, I don't know that I've read him. I've read a lot of authors by now for June on the Range. I don't know that he's one of them. And then when you flip the book over, you get this, Crossfire Trail. The only proof of the stranger's story was his word and his guns. An Ace original by Louis L'Amour. Oh my God, this is the Crossfire Trail. I have this in a paperback on its own. See, these are 2 complete novels for 35 cents as opposed to 10 cents. And here we have a woman on the cover about to be lassoed. How interesting. All right, so do you have a cast for this as well? Yeah. Rafe Cardick. He fought greed with wits and guns with guts. Charles Rodney, his dying wish sent another man on a vengeance trail, and Tex Briscoe, segundo of the ranch, he was first to shoot. Wow, so an ace double from 1954 of Louis L'Amour. So Crossfire Trail, and then a writer that I don't know. How wonderful. All right. So that's June on the Range. Oh no, all right, these other 2 are not for June on the Range. So we are going to go away from the Old West. We're going to deal now with Rocket Summer, another booktube event created by Michael K. Vaughan that deals with classic science fiction. Is this another ace double? Oh my God, it is. Oh, goodness gracious, it's another ace double. Right, so we have here The Beasts of Coal by John Rackham. Were they cavemen, Superman, or both? Oozoopopsie. There's a dog on the cover. Oozoopopsie. So what have we got here? This is 50 cents, not 35 cents. John Rackham. Cover art by Jack Gauguin. Copyright 1966. Why do I know that name, though? John Rackham. I think that's a pen name. I think it's a pen name for an author that I know. Is it John Brunner? Well, how does this start? We've got Rang stood braced, left hand gripping one shuddering branch, his bare shoulder wedged between the fork of the branch and the gnarled trunk, his right hand hovering by his neurone paralyzer, and his bare feet curled and digging into the soggy moss by the tree's roots. John Rackham. I feel certain that's a pen name. But when you finish with this, The Beasts of Coal, you flip it over to A Planet of Your Own by John Brunner. I have a ton of John Brunner. I'm planning on doing a lot of reading of him for Rocket Summer. Even though a lot of the books that I have by him don't technically fall into the date. I want to read as many of them as I do. And this is One Man to a World, or Was One Man Too Many? There's the cover. With a man and 2 people on a raft with the coronavirus behind them and a giant toadstool. So what have we got here? Is it possible that John Brunner wrote both of these? And that one of them is just under a pen name? Or am I remembering Rackham wrong? I probably am. So let's see here. This is copyright 1966. Also cover art by Jack Gauguin. How does this one start? There was one item on display in the enormous window. A zebra pelt. Kynance Foy stood and looked at it. There were a lot of other women doing the same thing, but she was the only one who was gritting her teeth. It wasn't the first time in her life she'd been the odd one out, so that figured. For example, and the most glaring example, she hadn't had to leave Earth, which marked her off immediately even on the comparatively highly populated outworld like Nefertiti. The massive, quote, encouraged immigration of the dictatrix period had lowered the premium on wanderlust at home, and it was a full generation since Nefertiti had declared itself independent and set quotas for Earthside immigrants, and then found some superfluous because the demand wasn't there. Okay, so Kynance Foy is not part of all that. She stands a little independent from that. All right, okay, so see, the problem with these is that they're, what was that date again? These are both 1966, which I think is too late. Unless, I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, they're both 1966. I can't remember, does Rocket Summer stop in 1970 or 1960? It might be 1970. Anyway, I'm going to want to read these anyway, regardless of whether they fit for the event. And then finally here is another YouTube event, Garb August, which is obviously needs no introduction, but that is an event created by Ollie at Criminale, designed to celebrate the reading of trash in the month of August. And this is a possibility of that. This is Country Girl by Joan Ellis. He was her only chance of escaping the boredom of small-town life, and it was a chance she was determined to take. We've got a blonde Daisy Duke there, and he's got eyes for her. And she's got eyes for him. It's that meme from online. She's looking at him, astonished that he's looking at her. It's the meme has come to life. What do we got here? She wanted to make him notice her and see how ripe and restless she was, to sense her hunger for big city glamour and excitement. She wanted to tell him what she was willing to do in return for a ticket away from the nothingness of her dull existence. She wanted to prove to him that a girl from the wrong side of the tracks knew more about pleasing men than any spoiled and sophisticated college girl. She wanted to show him a dozen different ways how grateful she would be if he'd only give her a chance to be something more than a country girl. She wanted to prove to them the girl from the wrong side of the tracks knew more about pleasing men than any spoiled and sophisticated college girl. Yeah, but when it comes to pleasing men, you might want to try the spoiled and sophisticated college boys. They know a lot, and what they don't know, they're willing to learn. Anyway, this is also from the 1960s. This is from 1965 by Joan Ellis, who wrote a whole bunch of other books. Don't Tell Anyone, Campus Jungle, Temporary Secretary, Sooner or Later, Pretty Please, The Cool Co-eds, No Men Allowed. I think I want all of Joan Ellis for Garb August. How does this one start? Denise Lainart stretched the length of the green and white lattice garden chaise, a vision of summer laziness. Sand-colored hair lay in seductive softness to her shoulders about a pert, attractive face. The long, sleek, beautifully fashioned 18-year-old body on display in a ruffled blue bikini that almost matched the color of her eyes. Denise suppressed a giggle. Not until bikinis appeared in the Sears catalog had she been able to break down her mother's resistance. All right. Well, this anonymous sender was worried that he was going to be banished to the outer blobhood, but no, he has succeeded wildly. We have nonfiction. We have great Old West history. And then 2 ace doubles, one for Westerns and one for science fiction. And one of the science fiction in the ace double is John Brunner, who's becoming a favorite author of mine. And then we have Country Girl for Garb August, which I will certainly read for Garb August. So we have a male that breaks rule number 1, and we have In the Days of Billy the Kid, which I cannot explicitly recommend now because I haven't actually read it. Now that I have this thing, I will burn through it tonight. But I liked my first impression. I'll leave a link to the page down below so you can get a first impression of your own. But anyway, that's it. That is some Sunday mail. Imagine that. So I'll wrap this up, and I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.